Musicians Talk Show is brought to you by Bandzoogle. Bandzoogle makes it easy to build a stunning website for your music in minutes. Choose from hundreds of mobile-friendly themes, then customize your design and content in a few clicks with Bandzoogle's easy visual editor. All the features you need for a professional website are already built in, including tools to sell your music and merch commission-free right on your website, mailing list tools to grow your fan list and send newsletters, integrations to pull in content from all your online services like Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud, and live support from their musician-friendly team 7 days a week. Bandzoogle plans start at just $8.29 a month and include your own free custom domain name. So go to bandzoogle.com to try it free for 30 days, and be sure to use the promo code TMTS to get 15% off your first year of your subscription. Okay, before we get started, Matt and I have lots of great ideas to improve the podcast, but we can't do it without you. So if you want to help us grow, click support the show at musicianstalkshow.com and consider signing up for our Patreon. We have tons of great perks and rewards for you, such as early guest reveals, a weekly live Q&A, and access to a monthly exclusive episode only for our patrons.
Sign up for our mailing list on our website to gain access to our private community on Discord. There you can communicate with Dallas and I directly about all things TMTS. You can also follow at Musicians Talk Show on Instagram to discover new episodes, vote in polls, and join the conversation.
Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to episode 65 of the Musicians Talk Show podcast.
That's right, 65.
No, we just went through this 5 times.
Yeah, I suck at this.
65.
65.
I hope I'm right on that. I'm not sure that I am.
I think it sounds right. At least it's white people acceptable.
Sure. There you go.
Anyways.
Are you saying the show's only for whites?
No, what I'm saying
Pretty
is
sure you just said that.
What I'm saying is
you
that
heard it first. You heard it first.
Missed what I was saying. I said a white person saying it and trying, you get a pass. You get a...
I just opened my water and exploded all over.
We understand your handicap. You can't do the rolled R's and whatnot. Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I can do the, but I cannot do it like in a
roll your R's.
Yeah, I can't do it in
you cannot roll. You cannot roll.
But anyway, I'm
your
one of your
tongue.
two co-hosts, Dallas to White.
Yeah, I'm Matt Tolley.
And we're in a good mood, I guess. And yeah, like I said, I just exploded water all over myself. So.
Good job, dude.
Feeling good. We got a nice breeze blowing the smell of a dead animal in our face. It's
there
perfect.
is some dead animal over there for sure.
Perfect.
Every time the wind blows this way, it's
like 80,
awful.
9 degrees, 92 degrees out here.
It's been crazy hot.
Sun's shining. So
this is probably gonna be our last episode
one we're
outside. I can't do this anymore. It was fun for the first few.
I'm sweating already. Oh, we got to get a selfie here. Let's do this real quick.
Are you gonna do the selfie on air?
On
I
air.
guess we should be running
selfie.
our mouths while we take the picture. Then check. Hey, check. This is running my mouth.
1, 2, mouth.
I wasn't
Again,
running
1,
my
2.
Cool. I don't know that. I don't know.
We might not use those, but you heard it here first. We took a picture on air.
Yeah. I don't know why that's so important. It seems cool.
Anyway, let's talk. Let's go chronologically here. Last time we recorded, right after we recorded, you went to the Sum 41 show.
Yeah.
So let's hear all about that.
Yeah, it was cool. Me and Foz went to the show and barely made it in time. But actually, we made it right in the right amount of time. Like, it was the end of the intermission between the first band and the second band, and everybody kept telling us, our second band was 741. Everybody kept telling us how much the first band sucked, and we're like,
Who was
cool.
the first band?
I forget. I don't want to even say it.
Why was it not us?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe we'll be next time. But the point being, though, is that we got there right at the right time, and I was blown away, actually, by Sum 41, because I'm not a huge fan or anything like that, but I appreciate a good show. And their new stuff is awesome. Their old stuff I recognized. It was an awesome show. We had a few beers. Definitely had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, and a short walk across the graveyard, which we're going to do Friday. We should do that next Friday.
Yeah, so what's the plan Friday? Let's talk about that then.
Yeah, Appetite for Destruction. So there's free shows, obviously. They're Guns N' Roses cover band.
Tribute, yep.
Yeah, so they do a good job. They've been around for a long time, so it'd be
They
good
have.
to go
Yeah,
there.
I've heard. I think they were on that GNR podcast that Bruce and I did. I think
Oh,
they
no
did
way.
that.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
They were like super chill. They don't take themselves too seriously, which is awesome.
Yeah, I remember I saw him like back when I first saw him. I was like 16 years old. I was blown away. I had a great time. That was before I ever saw Guns N' Roses because it wasn't the real lineup anymore. So they were way more, I would say, relevant or like needed in that time when there was no Guns N' Roses reunion yet.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
interesting.
Because it was cool.
I
You got
wonder
to see
though,
the
like
old school style.
like people kind of wanted a reunion, but also like it didn't seem like there was really a demand for GNR. You know what I mean? Like right now, since they got back, the demand for GNR stuff is like through the roof.
Yeah, I think there's a nostalgia
Like
factor.
their album
People are
started
remembering
charting
how
again,
good it is,
know?
and yeah, absolutely. You guys played. I guess we're gonna talk about it later, but you guys played a show last night. You played a couple Guns N' Roses.
We played
People were going
so
nuts
many
for
shows this weekend, dude.
People were going nuts for it though. It's good though. It's
We
good to
played.
hear. Sweet Child of Mine a lot.
Yeah, we.
I've heard you play it 2 times in the last 3 days.
No, 3. Oh yeah, you didn't hear that. Well,
I didn't
we
hear
played
that.
it 3.
Yeah, yeah.
We did. You didn't hear
play it
the
3
second
times.
one.
We'll get
Yeah,
into
so
that
let's
more.
talk about it. We had well, actually, before we get into that, I wanted to talk about. You said the drums.
Friday that we're going though.
Yeah, Friday Appetite for Destruction.
All
I'm gonna make it happen.
All right.
And I'm trying to get the band to go.
The drums
with
at
this weekend.
Sum 41 were amazing.
That's what I
did
wanted to
wanna
talk
say that.
about. So tell me what your thoughts are on that. I wasn't there, so I'm only able to speculate. But
They sounded epically.
my
huge.
biggest question is, they're running triggers for sure, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it seems like triggers are the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it was so awesome hearing that drum sound through the PA, man. Their drummer actually is Foz's old teacher.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Got him.
man.
Yep, for sure.
He killed it, man. He was awesome. Their new stuff has some really some cool double bass stuff, like really technical stuff. It's actually interesting. I posted a little clip on my on Instagram, not my Facebook.
I got you. I don't
was
know
good.
that I saw that. Wait, you posted it or story?
I posted it on my
Okay.
my Instagram.
I'll
It's
have to
cool.
go
It's
check
on
it
there.
out.
It's cool. You should check it out.
Man, I need to do more trigger research because I want to figure out how to do that for our band.
Yeah, you
Because
apparently you can make them yourself.
I want to have massive drum sounds.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
what?
so you
and
need
what?
a module, which is like $300 at least.
Well, the best module is a computer with your own sounds. Because you can get the module, but for any decent module with good sounds, you're
You
looking
can
at
run
like
your Slate
$2
drums
grand
or something on a computer.
Yeah,
on
but
your
like
laptop.
already mixed and processed and everything.
Right. So would you run that on your the same computer, or could you run on the same computer that runs?
It would
tracks?
have to be a different computer.
Different computer.
I think.
Sounds pretty.
But these are
involved
things that I
already.
need to figure out. Yeah, like
Yeah.
and then we like the one laptop I have right now runs all tracks. I have another one, but I got to get the screen fixed,
Right.
which I thought was gonna be $200. Turns out it's gonna be like $400.
Oh,
So that was not. I was in the store because they told me $200 over the phone.
Yeah.
Apple store. And the
I have
guy,
mine
and I was like, sweet. So what is it, like $200? He's like, no, it was like $450. I was like,
Dude,
what?
mine
And I
was
picked it up and I
$600.
walked out of the store.
mine was 600. It was the Retina, and I broke my laptop
Oh, yeah?
screen. Yeah, I fixed it, and then the fucking thing died afterwards. Anyways, it was a waste of fucking money.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about
that
it.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
That's a good point. I don't know if I should.
it's
fix
so
the screen.
terrible, man.
It's probably better to put it towards a new computer. But anyway, we need. We're going to be running lights in sync with the show.
Nice.
That's kind of like on the horizon. So that's and like automated, so we don't need like a lighting guy or anything.
Right. Will that be able to be on the
everything
same
on
laptop?
click, and that's going to have to be on the same laptop. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to take up too much. Like it's just
RAM.
like it's 2 MIDI tracks, so it doesn't take really any data at all.
Right, Okay. Right. Nice. Are you guys gonna invest in your own lighting then?
We're gonna have to get our own lighting. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
trying to like up the production value. So, like we have a last night we were talking about like we need a list of things we want to buy, and then we need to prioritize it because we have a lot of things. Like
Of course, I know. That's
like a
the way I feel,
trailer.
too.
We have to buy all of my equipment from me, so the band owns it, not Dallas.
Right.
Because just you saw already this
Yeah.
weekend, like mics started dropping like flies, dude.
Yeah.
We lost our wireless mic is having problems. That's a $800 microphone. Like, and then one of the like $200 Sennheisers slammed into the ground and stopped working. So
Yeah,
like,
drunken-
and like this is just
drunken
Dallas's stuff
shenanigans.
being just fucked
People,
up. Like,
girls dancing on stage though. It wasn't a bad way to have it happen, but it
Yeah.
was a sucky thing to happen.
I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it happened. I was
know.
just kind of doing
yeah.
my thing.
I watched it happen. I almost thought I caught it on camera, but I did not.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
That would have been great.
That would have been amazing.
Because it was like pop and then dead silence, and then it was
Yeah.
like that. There's
Yeah.
nothing coming out of that mic anymore.
Oh,
I was like,
really?
okay, that thing's dead.
we should thoroughly test it.
We should open it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a recall. I mean,
I'm sure you
warranty
could send
on
it to him to get it fixed or something. It's probably still under warranty if there is one, though.
but we dropped it, so I don't know. And we just admitted it on air. I'm just kidding. No, we found the episode. You guys
Sennheiser's
talked about dropping it.
big listeners of the show.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts us into our weekend recap here, which is starting to become a thing because we're doing so much
Yeah, that's
outside of
good.
this. But so we played Valentine Village, which was a really nice place.
It's cool to be
I love that.
outdoors and amongst just the people that are roaming around from restaurant to restaurant. You
Yeah,
drug
so
a
it's
couple
kinda
people
like,
out to
it's
camp
the best way you call it. It's like a village, like it's
Yeah.
a little like town, you know.
Yeah.
And we played at the base of this really cool movie theater with like this huge tower.
Yep. Sold some shirts. Made some friends.
Yep. Set up our scrims.
Yep.
We had a good time. We played like 3 hours. It was a long one.
Yeah, it was a long
And then
one.
Saturday we had, I think it's the first time I've ever done this. We played 2 shows. We had one at 3 o'clock at a brewery and one at 7:30 at a brewery, which we just went on at like 8. I've never been more proud of the second one when we launched into our high energy rock and roll. We cleared the room. It was fucking awesome.
It's such a small and shallow venue at Poor. I mean,
the manager after came up and told me one of her employees was also like, "That's fucking cool."
Right.
That everyone
The whole
left.
the whole staff was clapping loudly. I mean, like they were definitely into it. It's just how short that venue is. Like you're.
I don't think it's that at all. I think it's that clientele is not a mix for what we're doing.
Right.
I think you might find that too, but you're bringing a bunch of your own people.
That's the idea. Is I think we should go about those shows that are just going to be like, if they're there, they're just casual listeners. So you flood that place with your people. Those are the shows you really want to put time into making sure.
But if you flood, like if I want to flood a place with my people, it's going to be a show with a stage and a professional system. Like it's not going to be me like running sound. Like,
right, and we're not
on
getting
the
paid
floor,
as much.
like, you know what I mean?
We're not getting
Like,
paid as much there, so it's like. But I do feel like they deserve somewhat of a promotion and get people out. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to provide a spot for an original band to have all the beer you could possibly want on the wall right behind you. You go pour your own beers.
It's a really cool place.
But it's really designed.
Their
almost
hearts
like an
are in the
event
right
hall.
place, but I think it's misguided.
Think about it more like
a
an event hall rather than a venue. So it's like something where you can go there and book a show and get your people out too, and you have a place to play. As opposed to, like, I've seen videos on YouTube and Instagram and whatnot where people play shows in Wendy's. Like, what's the purpose of that? What do you think's going on there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why are they playing at Wendy's? Is it because they literally couldn't get booked anywhere else? Are they that bad?
I don't know.
Or is it because it's hard to make money that way, so they decided to try and make a viral video where they play literally in Wendy's or whatever? And like, it's just so strange. I'm like, what's the appeal here? What is it? Literally just this video, like, shock factor that somebody's playing in Wendy's? Like, we're going to go play at Wendy's. We're going to set up. I mean, they're not booked. They're not scheduled to play. They just show up, set their drum kit up in the middle of the place, and start playing in the middle of Wendy's. Like, what is that?
I don't know.
Is it a viral sensation attempt? Like, they're trying to be.
Probably.
That's what I'm
probably
thinking.
just
Is
trying to get
everybody looks at
attention.
it now like, all I got to do is do something bombastic.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so it was bombastic, but I'm like, okay, you guys played a free show at a place you weren't supposed to be.
So no one liked you.
Yeah, so
You were actively told to leave.
yeah, exactly. So it's very strange that, like, I just wonder if that's because people don't have a place to play, or if it's because it's hard to make money, so it's just like, we're playing for free anyways, why not just play anywhere? We set up, play what we play, and get out of there.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
I
don't
like Poor's taking a risk. The Poor Tap Room is the venue.
On original music, yeah.
Yeah, and that's
They
cool
definitely
and
are.
that's admirable. I think they've grossly misjudged their clientele. Because as soon as I stepped foot in there, I was like, "Oh, this ain't gonna work. Like, all these people are gonna leave. It's a bunch of button downs.
I just think
for the most part,
hipsters. It was too loud for people in there because they go there to have a conversation, and the type of music you're
That's
playing
what I'm
is not
saying. You've grossly
conversational music.
misjudged your clientele,
Yeah.
or you haven't listened to us at all.
Yeah,
one
but
of the two.
I think they were planning on people like bringing your own fans. I think that's part of it. Like that's definitely like what they're going for. Is like maybe there's a lot of people that want to see these original bands, but there's nowhere to play. You know what I mean? And it's free admission.
That's not
so-
the case at all. Yeah, there's tons of places.
Well, it's an
to play.
attempt. It's just a different way of looking at it.
No,
and-
I think it's admirable. Like I said, I just think they didn't. They didn't understand.
You're
like,
not,
like if you
optimistic
want to
about it.
provide entertainment to your guests, which is that like as much as they may support local bands, they're not in the business of local bands. They're in the business of selling beer to their clients.
Right. So if a local
So
band
if
can
you
bring
if you are
clients-
literally driving clients away with your idea, it's a terrible idea. That's
if
just the
you're-
bottom
right,
line.
Right. If you're driving with clients that are just there to drink beer.
Which is how you make all your money. You're losing money having us there because you're paying us.
Well, the nice thing about what they did is that there was another, basically like a side hallway where there's a bunch more taps, like tons of taps, and there's tables and chairs out there. So if people did want to get away from the direct blast,
And
of the
nobody
music,
left. They just went outside.
They went outside or went around the corner. So that's what I think
Yeah.
is it's okay about the situation. It wasn't a terrible loss. Like people
I
definitely
don't think it was a
everybody
loss at
agreed
all.
that-
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome too. So it's like whatever we're talking about here is not like a bad thing. It's gonna be all right. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I just think they need to like if they wanted to like truly entertain their guests, that's the place that needs like a jazz trio or something chill.
Sure,
solo acoustic.
Hawthorns would be awesome there. They can do a small gig. I saw them play at a pizza shop I think one time, dude. They're killer. It's like they're good wherever they go because they just need those four guys.
Or like a reggae group, but something quiet and chill that is truly background music.
Yeah,
Our music,
But they
music comes in
have
there
a
and
house
clubs you
system.
over the face.
They have a
Like,
house
it's
system
not-
that they can just play music. Like
It's
that's-
not the same. Yeah, but I mean that's why they
they're
want. They
looking for
obviously
that-
want live
They're
entertainment.
looking for a draw. They're looking for that draw, dude. They're looking for like people want to come see this band. We have all the beer in the whole world. Any beer you could possibly want. Like it's crazy how many beers they have. They have wine. They have ciders. They have all kinds of things. So if your crowd, your client, if your your fans are drinkers, you have a show there, they're going to be happy. They're going to be happy that they have all the options in the whole world, and you serve yourself. There's no wait in line. So that's what the opportunity lies. It's not in them providing you with a giant crowd. You know what I mean? That's what this opportunity particularly.
Yeah. They're
is
hoping.
good.
They're hoping that they book bands with a huge draw. Well, I'm sorry,
Yeah, it's
you're not for $300. You're not.
We're gonna get 50. We'll get 50 people out. It's gonna be good, man. We're gonna get some. Kyle's racing family is definitely coming out. A bunch of my friends are coming out. A lot of people from the Playroom want to come see us. They missed us last time. We're really bummed about it. So hopefully they make it out this time. The guy who got us the gig, I don't even know his real name because it changes on Facebook now. So now I got to find out what his real name is. But he hooked us up on Facebook and basically just put our name up for one of those got to pay gig type things. And we're gonna hook him with the shirt. He's gonna come out, whatever. So that'll be cool. All that stuff.
Awesome.
Anyways, what else?
Weekend recap.
Yeah, that's basically it. And then that's also upcoming shows next weekend. We got one to Poor Tap Room and
Yeah. So you guys are where and when? Say it for everybody.
yeah, Poor Tap Room, June 1st, 8 o'clock. Be there.
Perfect.
We'll play about an hour. We got a little half-hour break in between where we'll drink some beers and chat with friends, and then we'll go up and do the next half hour.
Our next show is June 8th at Hickory Tavern, Steelcroft.
Perfect.
But that's a
3-hour
couple
show.
podcasts away. One podcast away. Yeah,
Yeah,
3-hour show for
yeah.
sure. Oh, we talked about the Sum 41 show. Man,
Yep.
I want to figure out some triggers. I got to do more research. I've done a bunch of research on triggers, but I always get like halfway down the
Definitely
hole, and then
worth
I'm
it,
always
dude.
stuck.
I think we got to figure that out too.
I need to talk to someone who has done it.
Chad
kinda help me
Honeycutt
through
will talk about it with you if you want. He actually
that name sounds really familiar.
Annabelle Lee's drummer,
That's right.
and he would love to be on the podcast. We should have him on, maybe another member of Annabelle Lee too, with him, and then talk to him about triggers and talk to him about the metal scene in Charlotte because he's been in it for a long time. That'd be cool to actually talk to him about that.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's have him on there.
The trigger
I'll
episode.
hit him up.
So we have some shirts. You posted that picture.
Yeah,
Or
those
video,
new
I guess it
baseball
was.
shirts are sweet, dude. I'm so stoked. I got one made for myself. You have one for yourself.
I have one. Yep.
And we are shipping them out to our Patreon
subscribers.
Yeah. So that's gonna be great. Thank you, everybody. Who's
So and we're
helping
making
us
them
out.
for some friends and family as well. So
Yeah.
we're gonna take some pictures of these shirts in action in the wild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
be
getting
on
a
the
little
lookout for
hot,
those.
unfortunately, for long sleeves. They're not long sleeves; they're 3/4 sleeves. But you can still wear them in the summer. Like I guess baseball people wear them in the summer, right? Baseball players.
It's a white shirt, right? Or just sleeves?
black
right?
in the center,
Oh, that's right,
white
that's right,
sleeves.
that's
Yeah, white logo.
right. I got you.
So
It might be cool to do the inverse of that too. That could be cool.
the inverse of it, we could do it
Yeah.
easily.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, shirts. Those are coming up. They're also, you don't have to be a patron. You can just buy them straight from our website. They're $20.
Oh, there you go.
So
$20.
I think they're $20. It might be 25.
We'll
so-
get you one.
Another.
All of it goes towards supporting the show. And we talked about adding more merch to that soon too. We're gonna have a meeting real soon and figure out what we can do.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what we can do. But if you guys have anything you would like to see, let us know.
Yep. Because we're gonna start giving more options of ways to support the show. Maybe not just monthly, but if you just want to buy something, and support the show
like
and
like a
show
mug
off.
or
yeah, a mug
other just merch items.
Yeah. We talked about doing a practice book before. I think that's a good idea. A
Yep,
log, practice
notebook,
log.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah. So something that happened recently is you lost your bass player, right?
Yeah. Well,
Let's-
recently let us know, right? He's not gone because he promised to finish up at all shows that we have until we find another bass player. So
That's the good thing to do. You only have 2 on the books, though, right?
he's really helping us out by doing that, so that's really good.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
good. It said you only have two.
Yeah,
two
we only have
shows he's
2
got
right
to
now,
finish
right?
up.
So yeah, if we find a bass player before that second one, the first one's next week, so he's
Yeah,
definitely playing that
yeah.
one. And we practiced yesterday. It's all going to sound really good, so
Cool.
I'm excited. But if we find a bass player before, we're going to try some guys out. If we find somebody before the next one, he said he's fine with that too. So he's just trying to figure out. He wants to go play guitar, which is totally understandable. I get it. He's a guitar player, and he's like basically playing bass for us as a favor. He decided that would be a good opportunity. He likes the music. He wanted to get out and play, that kind of thing. So it's great that he's able to play bass for us and help us out. But we'll find the guy that's the long-term fit. It's what it's all about. It's all, evolution of a band in the lineup, is part of it. It really is. Like, it's just figured it all out and seeing where it lands, see where the comfortability lands, You guys just have Drew now. Like, you guys played the first show this weekend. Was that both those shows your first show?
Yeah, that was
Drew?
basically our first original
Drew?
show ever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So, okay, but with Drew and everything, too, so that's like you're going through the same thing. You're just like ironing it out, figuring out the lineup for sure. It was good, man.
Yeah, I think we got it now.
Yeah, it's cool. Everything was good, man. He was headbanging, and
We were playing. We played we opened with "If You Want Blood" by AC/DC for the second show. We didn't play it at all for the first show, which we were supposed to, but we didn't. And we hadn't played it in like 6 weeks or something.
oh man,
I hadn't even listened to it. Like,
well, that's iffy.
and we
You guys did a good job.
Jimmy said we killed it.
Yeah, you guys
So
pulled
that's
it off.
pretty good. So we must have rehearsed it enough times back 6 weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure I got a good clip of it too.
Because yeah, you got a good one. I looked at that one. It's one of the better clips for sure.
Okay, cool. You should post some of those. Those are cool.
Yeah, I might. I'm always hesitant to post just like you can clearly tell it's just a completely empty venue.
Well,
you know?
I really think it's just so short. The table right in front of the speakers was empty. Yeah, but right in front of the speakers, like if you're there to just see the band, then that's where a great spot to sit. But if you're there drinking beers, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't worry about that too much.
Oh, dude, you misunderstand. I'm not worried at all.
Oh.
I thought it was dope.
Okay.
It's fucking rock and
I
roll
thought it
to
was
show
great.
up, play
It was
loud
super
rock and roll, and
I
people
had a
leave.
great time, dude. I was
That's
about
amazing.
to get up and headbang. I was running the camera and the sound though, so I couldn't lose too much track.
Yeah. I saw you back there doing like 3 things at once.
Yeah.
You had like a beer in one hand, a phone in one hand, and then some third hand was grabbing the iPad or
That's
something.
right.
I don't know how you
Something
did
like
it.
that. I was working it out.
So, what is the process for like you losing a member and then replacing a member?
Yeah.
What is let's talk
Well, I've
through
done
that
that a
bit.
few times, and I've done it in a lot of different ways. I guess more than a few times. I'm being modest when I say that. It's definitely been like lots of lineup changes, and sometimes they're super casual, and it's like, yeah, I get it. You're not the guy. You get it too. Everybody gets it. Like it's all mutual. Sometimes somebody thinks they're worth more than what they really are worth, so that's interesting when you're just like, okay, obviously you have a misconception of what you're here for. Like, you're not the star of the show. That's not what we need in a bass player. That's not what we need in whatever it is. So it's interesting like that way. The process is just basically like trying to work it out, make sure you have somebody to play the gigs. Like if you have gigs, it's really nice that Craig has offered to stay on for the gigs. That's really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. Like it's different every time. I don't know. What do you think?
So where are you
your thoughts?
going to start your search?
Where? Well, I have a few people in mind for sure.
It's usually that's how we found Drew. He was the first person we had in mind, and it just ended up working out.
And that's good.
So.
I have some friends that play bass that I definitely want to ask, but I need to make sure I go about it the right way, and they understand that it's not like a paying gig. This is something like when we were looking for Rasan in the LA Navy and stuff like that. So it's like finding the right bass player then. So you know what the deal is. Why don't you tell me what?
It's especially tough for an original band because you want someone to put in all the time and effort for a normal band,
right?
But no money and potentially no money ever.
You're looking for somebody
You know
who's
what I
into
mean?
it for the passion of it.
Yeah, and that's a
love
hard
music.
sell when it's like your music. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's
Yeah,
a
I
really
feel
hard
that.
sell to
I
be
feel
like,
that.
I need someone that's extremely passionate about my music. You know what I mean? Like that's a really hard sell.
But
Sometimes you can
But
find it.
having found people that are extremely passionate about my music and your music, I know that is possible, right?
Mm-hmm. So
it's only just about getting the right 4 or 5 people that are all in it together and all on the same page. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really about that, And it sometimes there's no time limit on it. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it happens right away.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're one
Well, the
member
way
away
we
now
were
from-
able to land Rasan and Drew is because we're doing the variety band, so paychecks are coming. They're
Right.
definitely coming. It's just a
But
matter
they're
of
going
when.
towards the band anyway. They're going towards the original
Well,
band,
there's
right?
no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
They're going towards paying bills right now, like paying me for work I've done and
Okay.
paying
But
off scrims and stuff
they're
like
not
that.
paying them
But
is basically what I'm saying.
not yet, but they will. That's
They
the
will,
thing.
of course.
But see, with an original band, there's absolutely no guarantee of that.
No.
Because most original shows, you walk out with $60 tops.
Well, you just played a show that paid $300.
That is the far and above exception.
Yeah.
I've never played an original show in my entire life that paid me $300.
Yeah, and they don't provide sound, so it's
Yeah.
So
So that
it's
was
part of
basically
it.
the cost for the sound.
Yeah, that's part of it. So
I mean, every original show I've ever paid was a door split, and it was like you'd end up with like $60.
yeah,
At the end of the night.
I think the first show we played, we made $120, I think, and then that was after sound was paid and after lights were paid and everything. So that was good. We just put that towards our T-shirt bill.
Mm-hmm.
So. It's not guaranteed that you're going to make like a little bit of money, but I think
You're
taking the
definitely
right
not walking away with
opportunities-
anything more than beer money if there's 4 or 5 people in your band. you
Yeah,
know?
we have 4-piece. It's simple that way. At least it's divided up
4-piece?
25%. Yeah. You know this band Purple Barium that I'm in?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4
You,
piece.
Kyle, Craig, David. Oh yeah, you sing. That's right.
Sing, that's right. I'm double dude.
That was where I was losing it. I was
Right.
thinking of. I was like, okay, well, there's a singer and 2 guitarists.
Yeah. So yeah, but so that's easy 25% split. And right now
Yeah.
everybody's agreed while the band's a baby that the money's just going to go towards expenses and you know,
Yeah.
building the brand. So that way, hopefully, you know, I specifically said brand, not band. Brand, because hopefully that will be able to make us money later on down the road. If we have a known identity and I don't know what you want to call it. It's almost like a look or a style almost too, you know? So it's like we could sell shirts that way. We could sell art that way. We could sell music videos, all that stuff, right? So I was just, you know what I was thinking about on the way over here, dude? Radio. I was actually listening to the radio, and I don't listen to it very often, but every once in a while I'll throw it on and listen to see what people are listening to, like out there, and what the options are, right? So I'll flip through the program stations I have, and it's crazy, man. Like, to be on the radio now is almost nostalgic. Like, that's not where new music is really played anymore. Like, the new music stuff was like...
I discovered Greta Van Fleet on the radio.
Oh, really? Like, what station?
Just whatever rock
They
station.
might be
I
an
don't know.
anomaly, though, because they're like superstardom because of their...
Yeah, but this is
sound.
way before that. This is like the first time I ever heard them, and I was onto them before anyone was, pretty much.
Okay,
But I heard them on the radio.
Do you think that somebody heard them and thought, like, wow, I can't believe how close to the Led Zeppelin these sound. Let's put them on the radio. And
I heard them, and I was like, these guys sound fucking cool. And I
Right.
Shazammed it.
So
and it said Greta Van
Led
Fleet, and I
Zeppelin
added
didn't pop
them.
into your mind when you heard them the first
I probably thought, yeah, this kind of sounds like Led Zeppelin. Sounds awesome. You know?
Right. So, but I was just thinking, though, that, like, nowadays, I would rather have a
It was
YouTube,
Highway Song, by
I would
the way.
rather have a viral YouTube video than be on the radio. What do you think?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
That's a no-brainer.
You think so, though?
Yeah.
Because what if your music on the radio is actually organic, first of all, because that's a different thing. It's like, what if you ask somebody to play it for you, and they play it for you. That's one thing.
The problem is a viral video is typically not a song. Sometimes it is. It's
Sometimes
typically
it is.
someone like making a full court basketball shot or some. You know what I mean? Like it's not like my new band song all of a sudden randomly goes viral.
Well,
like
if
that's
a song
not
gets
usually.
popular, then it goes
If
viral.
if it is a song, it's because the video is whacked out and that somehow went viral. But it's not necessarily the song.
Well, it's probably then a mixture of both. I mean, the song and the video have to be like...
Usually, what I think happens is people see the video, go, "What the fuck," and then they watch it so many times, they're just like, "Oh, okay, the song's actually kind of cool," you know.
Right.
He even says that in the movie The Rocker
Oh, yeah.
when
yeah.
he goes viral because he's the naked drummer.
Yeah.
He goes, "We're laughing, we're laughing, we're laughing,"
And then we're like,
boom,
"Hey, that song."
we're singing and humming
Yeah.
the tunes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's exactly how it works.
Yep.
Like
That's
it's
a good
like
point.
they're not going there for music they don't know. That's not how it works.
I guess then maybe then what that means, though, is like the idea of a YouTube video going viral would mean more to me than something getting on the radio, because something getting on the radio nowadays is not the pinnacle
viral's
of
probably
something's-
bigger, way
yes,
bigger.
it's not the pinnacle of something's success.
Yeah, but the thing about
pinnacle of
getting on
success
radio
would
is that's
probably
something you can actively work towards. Getting viral is just pure luck. There's no way to like
Well, all
make
of it
yourself
is
viral.
all of it's luck. Like success is luck. Like there's a luck amount involved, right? It's skill, obviously.
Maybe.
Like, we've talked about this plenty of times, but it's there's an amount of luck that when something catches
You can
fire.
control a lot more than you think. I think a lot of people think luck. Now, going viral purely is luck, I believe. There's no way you can help that unless, like, I don't even know how that would happen.
Well, you do good art. It's just like that. The idea of releasing music. You do good art. That's the number one thing. You release it and you see what you get, and that's how you base your next. Whatever.
But you
better.
can lay out a plan to get your song on radio. You can't lay out a plan to go viral. Like that depends on
Well, 'cause
other people
viral, 'cause
sharing. it.
nowadays, viral is an actual status or a statistic that you can look at. And you can say, okay, look, I got this many viewers and this many
Yeah.
likes or whatever, right? And then radio is just like the fact that, yes, it's getting played for anybody who doesn't pay for music and just turns their car radio on. But what does that mean nowadays?
I think viral is pretty rare though. Like the things that I can think of going viral recently are that is the shirt, is the dress gold or blue or whatever. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That's viral. Where all of a sudden you're scrolling through Instagram and you see 10 of them in a row. That's viral.
Yeah.
Not, oh, my song has 10,000 views or 2 million views. Like that's not viral.
I look at that as annoying.
That's viral. That's
yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
hate
Viral
that.
is where it permeates every part of culture.
Isn't there-
Celebrities are posting
Isn't
it.
there a number
Everyone's
that they
posting
consider
it.
viral? Isn't viral detailed with a number range of views or hits
I don't
or
know.
whatever? I think it is. I think there's some.
There's tons of things that have 1 billion views that I've never even seen, and I don't consider them viral.
Of course, and doesn't mean it's not viral though.
Well, see, but when
People
stuff
in that
truly goes
culture-
viral, I see it.
People
Everyone
in that
sees it.
culture, you know what I mean? Though they consider viral something different.
That's why I think viral, like the bar's gone higher. Like something used to be viral at 1 million views, but then that Psy song, what's his song? Gangnam Style. That's viral. It hit 1 billion views.
I hated that too.
Yeah, see, if you hate it, that's probably viral. Nothing's going viral that you're like, this is sick. Like, that's not happening. Like,
Great, then my band's not going viral.
it absolutely will not go viral. There's no way. Like,
Sucks.
and
Well,
that's not something
maybe
you
that
can
crazy
plan.
video
Like,
idea, you know?
you can get a lot of see, music like ours is too extreme, too outside to go viral.
Yeah, I would say it's more underground than extreme because I don't think we're trying to shock jock or anything like that.
No,
we're just
not
more
extreme
on
like the
on
genre, extreme like on the extremes of the spectrum.
what popular music is. Right?
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Right.
Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, we just got to be realistic.
Peace of mind, I think, is potential to fucking hit everybody's home radio and be like, this is our favorite song. All the families love it.
Maybe.
Dude,
We had
actually, there's some
it seemed like
families
some people liked it.
rocking out at the thing to your original music at the
Yeah, one guy came up at the end, and I was like, "Yeah, man, that second to last song we played is on Spotify." He's like, "Already added it, love it." Like,
yeah, he
I was
bought
like,
it on
"All right."
iTunes. Is actually what he said. Which
Oh, really?
Is excellent. Yeah. Yeah, I was standing there right behind you when he wanted to replicate. So
That's
yeah, I already
funny.
bought it on iTunes, man. I love it.
Yeah.
That was great. That's all. And he bought a shirt too, right?
Yep, he
Yeah,
did.
That's perfect.
Almost
it,
got
man.
him to
That's
get
what
2
you're
shirts.
doing.
He was cool.
Even if
They
you get
showed
a
up for the
couple
second
fans-
set, and then they did not leave. They stayed the whole
No,
time.
exactly. And I was out running sound next to him, so I was sitting next to him the whole time
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah,
listening
you
to
were.
him like compliment you guys the whole time and just whatever work, keeping doing my thing and let him enjoy the show. And I made sure that I got Goliath over there to talk to him, so they enjoyed.
That was a cool venue. It was just super chill, and
Yeah, you guys are coming back there probably. The guy said he liked it. He wanted to have you back.
yeah.
So.
There was something I was going to say when we were talking about viral versus radio, and we were talking about luck. Oh yeah, luck. I don't think. I think luck honestly is mostly an excuse. It's like
Well, everything takes a little bit of luck, right? Everything
Yeah,
takes
but
a little bit of
here's
things
the
going
thing.
your way
Here's the thing.
that you can't control.
There's a lot more you can. It's like we were talking about before the show. There's more you can control than we want to admit. So when stuff goes wrong, the last person we want to blame is ourselves. So what do? We say, "Oh man, I just didn't get lucky today."
You have to remember this. You can only be yourself. You cannot be things that are out of your control and that are not you. You cannot all of a sudden take on this role of I don't know, whatever it would be to make your success happen. There's some role out there that you don't do that you're going to need somebody else who does do it. And that is a luck almost in finding that right person.
That's not luck. That's just searching and finding. Like finding your next bass player is not going to be luck. You're going to search and
but
find
it's
him.
not guaranteed, right? So when you find that person, don't you feel lucky when you find him that you're like, wow, I found the right guy?
In retrospect, sometimes it seems like luck, but it's just you putting in the work to find the right person.
But it still takes the aspect.
You don't get lucky when you
of-
find your attorney. You just go find attorneys until you find the right one. You probably went through 10,
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
not lucky, it's just the process.
Lucky maybe that what if you find one quickly? Is that lucky?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't
Is
think
it
luck
lucky that you
is
find
super
one that
responsible
specifically
for much.
knows the next gig you're gonna do is whatever, known for this or whatever, and has this problem? And I don't know. I don't even know.
I would
who
say
this-
fortunate. I don't know that that's necessarily
Fortunate.
lucky.
Well, fortunate would be like measured in luck, right?
I don't know. Luck, see,
how
luck,
fortunate were
luck
you?
to me is pure. Like,
Luck doesn't have to be good or bad either. You gotta
one of the
remember that.
best examples of luck is in Harry Potter.
There's good luck and there's bad luck.
Have you read Harry Potter or seen the movies?
I've read the first book and
He
saw
drinks
all the movies.
he drinks the. They do actually. It's in the 6th book, I think. They make a potion called Liquid Luck, and when you drink it, you're like mega lucky. And like the examples of him getting super lucky are like he has to sneak out, and it's the one day that the door happened to be left unlocked. Like that's luck. That's not like. It's not like, hey, I found my bass player. Like he likes metal. Like that's not luck, dude. Like everyone
No.
likes fucking metal. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know, man. I get what you're saying, I think. But
I honestly
even
think luck is a huge excuse. Like, oh man, we tried so hard, we just didn't catch a break. It's like, yeah, man.
Well,
like,
what about we
maybe
tried
you
hard
played music
forever.
that sucked ass.
What about
Like,
this?
maybe that was it.
All right,
like
so-
Anvil, you know?
Okay,
Like
so
we were
that's
talking about
one.
Anvil.
That's one example. What if you tried so hard, and then finally one day everything happened? Like you met one guy and everything happened. Like maybe you worked for 10 years as a band. And you were like, man, we were just about to give up, and some guy made our career that day.
Not lucky.
Not
at
lucky.
all. No, because luck is, the quote is, when preparation meets opportunity. So you were prepared, you just didn't have an opportunity. Or tons of opportunities came your way and you weren't prepared.
Right.
But see, luck can be, reduced to that. But pure luck, I
don't
think,
know.
is very rare.
I think, I think there's an element of luck in everything we do. There's an element of things going our way that we couldn't have made easier on ourselves. Sometimes you see it in streaks, man. You have lucky streaks, dude. You have like a week where you're just like, man, if I hadn't had this happen to me and this happened to me and this happened to me, I would have been screwed right now. I'd been like, there's no way it would have worked out.
So luck is
And maybe I
luck is
would've been-
basically the element of chance going
It
one
is.
way or the other.
It is the
But
element of chance.
See, for
And there's
me
good
to
luck
sit
and there's
back and
bad
say
luck.
there's mostly an element of chance in my career, I refuse to accept that. I will never accept that.
Okay.
I'm going to take my career into my hands and do what I want with it. I'm not going to sit back and let chance decide my fucking fate.
That's good. You might
happen.
find yourself frustrated at stuff you can't
Well, no, because I've done everything I want to do so far.
But there's certain things you're not going to be able to control, and you might find it super frustrating when you've prepared, and it doesn't work out.
No, it's a matter of
You have
time.
to understand. It is a matter of time.
Because you're just waiting. If you're prepared, you're waiting for the opportunity.
Exactly.
So that's it. You just keep doing your thing.
Yeah. There's no reason to think that you were unlucky or
lucky.
Right, or lucky. Right. It's undetermined, and everything's chance. I think that's all there's probably to say on that. How do we get off on the lucky?
You were saying something about luck is everything or some shit.
Whatever. Don't put words in my mouth. Luck is everything. I would never say something like that. I said sometimes.
I just don't like the idea of like, throwing my hands in the air. And being like,
nobody is saying that. Like that, we could talk about the fact that sometimes things swing your way for whatever reason, and not deserved, not not karma. We're not talking about. We're just talking about literal chance that things work out in your favor, and that kind of stuff is
that
part
can
of your
happen.
growth.
But see, when those things do happen, you can usually trace it back to things that you did.
Sure.
You know
well,
what I mean?
luck is still preparation meets opportunity. It still is. That's
like
the
we
truth.
just found a really great guy to help us run front of house. Really great. Like a lot of experience doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And we traced it back to the Facebook post we posted looking for him. That's not luck that we found him. We searched for him when we found him,
Yeah, well, I wouldn't consider that lucky. What I would consider lucky is if he showed up right before you were literally about to go with no sound guy or something like that. I would consider that.
Oh, that might be lucky. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying that like there's a chance
But see those things are like that. The situation you described is so rare.
Yeah, I'm not saying rely on those situations, but I'm saying that there is some certain things that if you're doing everything you can do right, and you're working, putting all the steps in, putting all the work in, and these other things that just happen to line up and work out in your favor, I think that only amplifies your progress.
Here's what I think: if you're showing up and doing all the work, you will find shit works itself out, luck or not.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true. Well,
if you're really, but the thing is, if you buy too much into luck being a big part of the music industry, which you see everywhere,
I'm not saying you should worship luck. I'm not saying that you should like pray to the god of blah blah, blah so you can be lucky.
But the thing is, if you give luck even too much of like I don't know, hold on whatever, if you give it too much weight, then you're putting the reins just out of your hands.
Nobody's saying put all your weight into luck or not or nothing.
That's not what
like
I said.
that.
I said putting too much weight into luck by saying like,
I know
you got to get lucky.
But nobody's saying that putting all your stock in luck because it has so much weight. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I don't even know what we're talking about. I don't remember how we got onto this, but we were talking about luck being part of the game for sure. Like you have to be lucky in certain situations and then capitalize on luck. You can take a situation you got lucky on and make it better. All that stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how we got started on this anymore, actually. I forgot.
Well, it's a good conversation. Talking about luck and chance and...
Luck and chance.
Whatever
Take a chance.
else.
Roll the dice.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying throw your life away. Bet all your money on one roll of the dice.
Perfect.
That's luck.
Play metal.
That's luck.
Play death metal.
Now that's
a good roll of the dice.
Play death metal. Roll the dice.
So,
that is a roll of the dice. That's what we were talking about, wasn't it? When we were talking about,
what?
Somebody liking your band or not? Isn't that how we got into, like, I don't know, maybe... What were we talking about? How did we get into luck, dude?
Oh, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's
okay,
just what we're talking about right now.
I was just trying to chase it down. Anyways.
But yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. I've never liked it when people are like, oh, well, you can't make it in this industry if you're not lucky. It's like, well, what?
No, you're not going to make it if you don't work.
Everybody that's made it, you can clearly trace their path back and see what happened. And you might see one or two lucky breaks. But it's nothing crazy. Like,
right, you still have to put the work. You still have to be that player.
But see, if Taylor Swift got her big break because A&R guy X was in the crowd at one show, sure, but she was great. So if he wasn't at that show, he would have been at the next
one. Right.
If he wasn't at that one, it doesn't matter.
You definitely increase your chances if you put in work. You increase your chances to run into lucky situations.
Luck may have happened, but it will happen is the thing, you know what I'm saying?
It will. It will happen to the right people. That's a good point.
Hold on 1 second.
So what do you want to talk about next?
I got a message here I got to reply to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Dude, we read that article. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, dude, that kind of dovetails maybe a little bit into it.
Yeah.
We're talking about
practice.
Yeah, so Brian Stollard, one of our longtime listeners and patrons, sent me an article, and it says, what's the title here? The key to mastering, this is the headline, it's kind of long.
Yeah.
The key to mastering anything in a shorter amount of time involves a technique you probably learned in grade school.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of a misleading headline.
Yeah, they never really talk about that.
Basically, the article is like 4 or 5 paragraphs long, and it says practice.
But it's
basically what it says.
It actually says that over practicing is worth it. Like they think that,
over practice is the key that they talk about, which I like a lot.
From now on, is over practice makes permanent. So the idea meaning that if you solidify, like say you get to the point where you're shooting free throws every time, still keep doing them. Like even though you're hitting them every time, like it doesn't matter. There's no level of perfection you're gonna accept to stop practicing. You're gonna keep practicing,
Right.
and then you're gonna over practice.
They quote a study which is pretty cool, but one of my favorite paragraphs here, I'm trying to find it. Over practicing, here comes the low battery signal, awesome. Over practicing is what separates the good from the great in any field. So not just practicing. Practice makes perfect, practice makes permanent, whatever you want to say, sure. But over practicing, once you have it down, doing it 5 more times, And that's something I feel like not many people do. Really only the greats do it,
Right.
Very few people do it.
Right. It's really solidifying.
Because everyone cannot be great.
No,
So there has to be, there's differences.
And the only way to be better than the other person is to practice more. Like, it's the only way. Like, there's not any, like, I hate to break it to you guys, no God-given gifts. Like, somebody's going to be the greatest guitar player in the world, and they don't have to practice to do it. Like, they're going to practice. They're going to practice more than you are. That's how they're going to do it.
Yeah, that's how they're going to be better than you. It's because they practice more. Some of my students are like, how do you make it look so easy? Practice.
Practice.
Why are you so good? Practice.
Right. This is not the first time you've heard. This is not the first time I've played this. Like,
it's not the sexiest answer,
Right.
It's like, you want to be good? So just practice 10 hours a day, skip parties, don't go out, practice.
It's almost like too simple for people. There's like,
it's so simple, but people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to do the hard work.
It takes the work to put it in.
And more than anything, it takes sacrifice. In high school, dude, I didn't party. I didn't do anything. I just practiced guitar.
Yep.
And my high school and college experiences may have suffered at the time, but I'm very glad I did that now.
Yeah. Now you're doing what you want to do, and you're capable, man.
This study they did was pretty cool. Should I read the synopsis real quick?
You want to read it? Yeah, just read it out.
All right, starting with a quote. Let me actually, you kind of have to describe the beginning of it. Okay, so I'm just going to read it a little bit here.
I mean, I can just summarize it if you want.
Yeah, summarize it. I'm going to read the quote, but you go ahead and summarize.
They did a test where they have these people practice one thing for a certain amount of time, and then they take a 30-minute break and they practice another thing for a certain amount of time, the same amount of time. And then when the next day they came back, the people remembered the second set of information better. Then when they did a test, and they didn't remember this first. It was almost like they didn't do it at all.
Right. But then with a different group of people, they did a different test.
They did a different test where they had
they practiced the thing
same
A, whatever it was.
And then they took a break. They practiced the same thing afterwards.
Again.
And that was solidified in their brain. And they said that this works is that basically your brain is plastic. It goes into a learning mode. And if you don't give it enough time to settle on what it just learned, it's still in learning mode, and it'll just reform over that. There's only a certain amount of information you can take in at one time.
I've definitely felt that.
You should definitely do small chunks of things and do them in repetition and really solidify them, and then give it a day, sleep on it, and do it again, and then move to something else. But then keep practicing it every day, whatever you learn, to keep solidifying it.
I do that all the time with learning all those songs for the corporate and wedding gig.
Yep.
I already forgot them all.
Yep, because you crammed them in and
it's cramming. You want to do good on the test, so you get it down, perform the test, get an A, move on.
Right. Whereas if you're trying to solidify like your original music, you're going to be playing it for potentially the rest of your life. That you want to solidify.
That's a different thing. Yep.
And make sure you perform it to the absolute best.
Yep.
Always.
And that is deliberate that I do that.
Of course.
It's deliberate that I don't want to clog my brain up with too many random songs. So I just learn them at the last second, and then I let them go.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I'll remember I definitely remember bits and pieces.
You'll remember the ones that you do a lot. Like you do a lot of gun stuff. You'll remember.
Yeah, but I'm talking like this was like signed, sealed, delivered.
Right.
Like,
stuff you just break out every once in a while. Stevie Wonder.
What was some other ones? Like a Maroon 5 song.
Right.
Sunday Morning, I think it was.
Right.
Other stuff like that, like Respect.
Yeah.
I Will Survive, like those kind of songs, like just gone.
Hey, dude, earlier we were talking about the Pledge Music thing. Mm-hmm. You want to enlighten me on that situation a little bit?
Yeah, segue into that.
Yeah, because I haven't ever really read up on that, but it is interesting to me to think that that's not apparently they're bankrupt. What's the deal?
Yeah, so Pledge Music went bankrupt, which
That's like one of the big things he talks about in the new music business. You know.
does he mention Pledge Music a lot and
definitely.
it being positive?
Well, he mentioned all the different types of crowdfunding. And
But
goes
he likes
through
Pledge Music?
Well, he went through the pros and cons of each one. I have to remember which one he liked the most. I feel like it might have been Pledge Music.
Okay, that's interesting. I need
is
to go back
interesting.
and look at that
Yeah,
in
we'll
this
have to
new
look
light.
at that.
So here's one quick headline. Thousands left waiting for money that may never come after music crowdfunding site
Yikes.
shutters. That's impossible to say. Crowdfunding site shutters.
Yikes.
So basically, if you guys don't know what Pledge Music is, I'll describe it to you real quick. The way I was talking to Matt a minute ago about it, we were talking about Pledge Music before we started.
It's a fiasco.
But that's literally what it says in our notes. Pledge Music
No,
fiasco.
I'm just kidding. Go. Yeah, explain what happened.
So at any crowdfunding site, you the artist, Matt, you're the artist. Prep and Barium's the artist.
Okay.
You guys are releasing your new album, but you don't necessarily have the money to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You need to record it. You need to buy the CDs. You need to send it to machine to get mixed. Whatever you need to do.
Right.
And that costs a lot of money. Let's say $5,000. So you don't have $5,000. So you're gonna let your fans, because you have fans that like your demos and stuff. They're gonna
And they're waiting on that.
or
album.
this is your second album, let's
Right.
say. So they love the
Definitely a
first
good
one, so
idea,
you have
yeah.
a fan base. So
Yeah.
they're gonna crowdfund your album. They're gonna send you money to basically pre-order it.
Yeah.
So
Giving you the money to make it.
right, so they're gonna give you the money to make it, and then you can make it. But you have to offer them incentives. So you're gonna offer them like a hard copy of the album when it's released, a digital pre-released, a signed poster, a T-shirt, a $500 package of everything. You know, whatever you're offering.
Whatever
So-
it is, you give them levels.
But you don't have these things yet.
Right, because you're
You're just going to promise them because you're going to use that money to make it. So what they do is they pay Pledge Music. Pledge Music then holds the money. I don't know why. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure
that
how it
works.
all. Right, but
And then,
Pledge
but
Music
then they're
is-
going to pay you part of it so you can cover your shipping costs. But then once everything's done, they release the rest of the money to you and you can cover
Right.
everything. That's my understanding. I never
Okay.
used Pledge Music. I did do a Kickstarter once.
Okay.
So here's what Pledge Music did. When it was time to pay the artists, so me, Dallas, to support Prep and Barium's second album, I paid Pledge Music $5 to get the
Right.
hard copy.
Right.
And Pledge Music spent that money somewhere else.
Right. Robbing Peter to pay Paul is the old saying.
Yeah. So then I go to Matt and I go, "Where's my CD, bro?" And
Yeah.
Matt's like, "Well, I didn't get your money from Pledge Music." And
Right.
Pledge Music does not reply to any
Right,
of this.
they got
by the way.
nothing.
They literally are just in the back with like their hands in the air.
'Cause they-
and then
they
now
spent
you
it.
have to give me your album, but you have to do it out of your own pocket.
Yeah, they spent it on promising the other bands, to pay their
Yeah.
pay so they can make their thing. So it's kind of like just constantly never being fulfilled, and who knows where else money got spent. you know?
So the thing I read a lot of articles on this, and the thing everyone said is Pledge Music simply will not reply to your emails when you ask.
Who knows what
Where's my
happened?
money? Where's this? What are we doing? What's the status of this? You just will not reply.
Jeez.
And a lot of shady stuff was happening at like the board level, and like shady people were kind of involved in running it. Here's a quote. "It was shady," Boone said. Boone's from it's a guy from Charleston actually, which is cool. "From my understanding, Pledge was paying themselves and paying Band A with Band B's money, but then caught themselves because they had spent all the money." Well, I mean, they're bankrupt now.
Right.
So
Now they're screwed. They left everybody basically no money. So now they have to still figure out a way to make their fans happy.
they owe hundreds of thousands, if not millions, to artists.
That's crazy. When then think about what that leaves the artist though too, because the artist now is left to still produce that album that they promised their fan.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
still
how-
have to
do they
give them
just
the.
give it
They
to
still owe
people?
the fan because that's
Yeah.
a promise. The fan did their part.
So they made
It's
no
kind of
money.
like if we go to lunch. You buy my lunch and I give you $10 cash, and then you lose that $10.
Right.
Like I don't owe you another $10.
Right,
Like, that's
right.
on you, dude.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing. Like I did my part. I paid my $5, and
that's
I
so
deserve
sad.
that album. It's just on you to figure it out now.
So sad that the artists are left like that. For no.
And it's really funny
fault of
because their
own.
mission statement or like their
Bad luck, dude.
Their tagline or whatever is
That's bad
basically
luck.
something along the lines of like
That's bad
supporting
luck.
artists or whatever.
They're doing all the right things. Get all your fans riled up and get them
It's
buy your new album.
definitely
and
could be considered bad
still
luck
don't
when
get
Pledge
paid.
Music goes out of business. But should we be crowdfunding in the first place? That's something I wanted
That's a
to talk
question.
about
I mean,
today.
it's risky, and we should also talk about the fact that we put all our stock into social media pages.
This is the main thing I wanted you guys to take away from this.
Yeah.
Is be careful where you put all your eggs, because and you may need to reassess where you're doing this now. But Dave Cool said this when he was on the podcast. I think it was episode 19 from Bandzoogle. We were talking about the importance of an email list. You need your fans in a place where like you can own them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like right now, if you have 10,000 Facebook likes, that's awesome. But what happens when Facebook divides up into 3 different
turns into
social network
MySpace,
sites?
or turns into MySpace and is
Yeah.
totally dead again.
Because that's something that they've been talking about, breaking up Facebook into multiple different sites. Because
Well,
it's too big.
They own Instagram now.
They're talking about at least removing Instagram, or someone was calling on them to do that. I don't know if
Really?
they're actually going to do that. Yeah.
Well, I'd hate if they
Because it's basically a monopoly.
But I like Instagram a lot.
So-
I think they should.
Well, they won't remove
should
Instagram. They
make
just need to
Facebook
separate
a
the
different
company.
thing. You know, I just realized that Instagram doesn't have a way to keep events logged. So if you need to, if you're using Facebook to see what like shows are coming to town or whatever events that you want to go to, that Facebook is way better at that. I mean, there's nothing for Instagram. You're not going to be able to keep track.
That's not what
of.
it's for. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there's different things that Facebook's good at and things that Instagram's good at, but I think they should just, if they own them both, they should make them two different things. Turn Facebook into something that is specifically.
No, you're missing the point. It's not anything to do with functionality. It's that one company should not own that much of the pie. They have to split that company up. It's almost a monopoly.
Even if they're different things, though?
It doesn't matter if they're different things. They're owned by the same company.
Thing like social media.
If I own Arby's and Wendy's, they're two different things. But
if you own Arby's and Sears, then you're not putting.
That's not at all the
same. So
same.
I'm saying is that if you change Facebook and make it different,
there's still going to be social networks though.
So you're saying all social networks go together, but not all stores go together? Because
not stores, restaurants versus stores.
Food, I mean, rude. Sell food and sell clothes.
It's like this.
They're different stores, but they are.
I use that example because the same company does own Arby's and Wendy's, and they're two different restaurants. But that company doesn't also own McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, all the fast food restaurants.
They don't own too many of them.
But I mean, name the two biggest social networks off the top of your head.
It's definitely Facebook.
Same
and
company.
Yeah, it's
not cool. Like you can't that's not.
Twitter might be.
YouTube owns Google.
Twitter might be.
So the big three are Google, Facebook, and Twitter.
Really, not Instagram, because Facebook is considered.
Instagram is owned by Facebook.
So you just consider it Facebook.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you're thinking in the consumer world, but in the business world, it's the same thing. They're the same company
because they're obviously right.
So like,
and
that's actually a big problem because we as consumers see it as two different things. Like it's not the same app. I don't click the same button. It's like no,
so
dude,
they're trying
it's
to
the
hide
same
it. Right.
thing.
It's almost like they're trying to keep that. Yeah.
And they control all that data, and that's we were listening to it.
That's a big thing.
I think it was Tulsi Gabbard.
Data.
I think it was Tulsi Gabbard that was saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was. She understands it. That's actually refreshing to think that a presidential candidate understands social media and the problems that are in it.
Yeah, she's definitely young. She's like 38, isn't she?
Yeah, which I think is needed nowadays because I think these old presidential candidates, politicians, we'll say, are not up to date on what's happening and are not in the know. You know what I mean?
The main thing is like the future is super uncertain, especially with internet stuff. So you need to be more intentional about building up a fan base that you own, which is an email list, because email's not owned by any one person. So you can, you can if you have those same 10,000 people that are on your Facebook, if they're also on your email list, that's cool. Because then when Facebook goes down, you can still reach out to them and say, hey, I'm going to be in blah blah blah.
But
tomorrow.
Facebook and Instagram are the same thing, so
you need to look up how businesses work.
So they would just liquidate one company versus
they would have to sell Instagram,
right?
Or whatever the case is. But like
you never know what it's going to be.
They're not exactly. Yeah, right. You never know. They could keep Instagram and split Facebook up into Facebook and then something called
either way. Cover your bases.
You know what I mean?
Get people's emails because that's not going anywhere. Email is many providers in email service and stuff like that.
Like Gmail.
But it's
like saying like someone owns phone numbers. Like calling someone on the phone. Like there's companies that do it.
If you have all your fans' phone numbers, you're doing pretty good.
You're doing really good.
Text everybody while you're on your show.
Yeah. Group text of like 3,000 people. You can do that, I think, with certain things, can't you?
Certain services, maybe.
Oh, that would be a nightmare.
That would be
how fast that would get out of hand.
There was Dane Cook was talking about it on a podcast how there was an app that specifically worked really well for him to keep his comedian fans. Not comedian fans like they're comedians, but his fans of his comedy on this app, and he would send one message out, and everybody.
He used to do AOL Instant Messenger.
It wasn't that. That was the start of it. That was the start of it. There was a new app that came along, and it was like, oh wow, this is perfect.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it was.
Every place with that, because all he had to do was go into that town, set his radius to where he wanted to send this message out to anybody on this app.
That's crazy.
And he would just like have them all.
Was this like when he was coming up, or he had to?
Yeah, when he was coming up during his giant progressive period.
Oh, got you.
It's something that put him on the map for
sure. He's really cool to listen to talk about that stuff because how he made it.
He understands.
Is like he replied to everyone. That's literally his one piece of advice.
He understands the power though of finding one unique thing that you can do that beats everybody else. You know, call it luck, call it whatever, call it just a almost an epiphany. Like he had an idea that was just like, oh, this is all I need right here, and I can get everybody to my show. He was so early on,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
MySpace was big.
He was
for
like,
him.
yeah,
MySpace
that's
was
kind of
huge.
what helped push him.
Big
But he was
time.
one
That's
of the
what
first,
started him on that idea.
one of the first like social media users, like, you know, for business reasons,
Right.
which is pretty
and
cool.
he really utilized his fan base, and you know, I think everybody can agree he's a decent looking guy, or used to be at least. He's in movies and stuff like that, so he used that to his advantage. Like,
Well, movies came later, didn't they?
they did, but I mean, he used it to his advantage as far as like keeping people interested in him and stuff like that. I don't know.
He
Probably
also
was that.
lost everything and then had to build it again. which is
Dude,
pretty
his
cool.
story about losing everything is unbelievable.
And then building it again.
His
like,
brother fucking fucked him over.
That's one thing, and that sucks for sure. But I'm
His
more
fault
drawn
was
to how
not-
he built it again.
Yeah.
He made it twice.
Yeah.
Like, that's not luck. That's the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
if you listen to
put
the-
him in any circumstances,
Yeah,
and he's
if you
going to
listen to those
succeed.
interviews where he talks about it, man, he really goes into detail on how
I
he
listened
realized.
to he's been promoting a lot of stuff lately, so he's been on like every podcast I listen to. I've listened to all of them. He's a cool guy
That's
to listen
great,
to.
yeah.
I don't like that he gets all the hate. I never
Yeah.
understood that, even in the heyday of it.
Yeah,
People were hating
because
on him.
of
I
it.
was like, dude, he's fine. He's funny. Like,
Because when
relax.
you see something that everybody's looking at and they're going, "Oh, look how funny this is," or "Look how awesome this is,"
Look how much money this guy has. You know, like.
everybody tends to start pointing out the flaws, which is, you know,
Yeah.
a dumb way to think. Like,
Well, when you get too big, i.e., Greta Van Fleet,
yeah, same thing, man.
It's
Too
just
much
you
like
can't-
Led Zeppelin.
yeah, the haters come out.
Yep.
I saw some comment on their page the other day that was like, they don't sound like Led Zeppelin, and I clicked on the link and it was like, you know, like a 13-year-old girl or something, and I was like, first of all,
You don't know what Led
you
Zeppelin
don't know what you're
is.
talking about, and second, like, they do. Like,
Yeah.
everyone agrees. We're doing good.
Okay. Yeah, we're having a good time.
This breeze
I
is
saw-
starting to
I
come
saw
in.
a new a comedian that I like.
Who'd you see?
Dusty. What's his last name? Dusty.
Is this a new guy? I don't know a Dusty.
Yeah, I sent you this. It was he was talking about quitting work in your last.
Oh,
two-
yeah.
Dusty, what's his last name?
I don't remember his last name.
Anyways, what he was.
You recently went through that, didn't you? Basically.
Yeah, well, not
So
not
it
bad.
was talking
Not-
about. It was, well, I mean, like the emotions of it, I guess.
at least the feeling
Like
of
the
it.
stress freeness. So
Sure,
you
sure.
put in your 2 weeks notice at your job,
Yep.
but the video was about like what it is like working your last 2 weeks at the 2
Right,
weeks notice.
right.
I've definitely felt that too. It's just like no fucks given.
It's so funny. That guy. I forget why I thought about him. We were just talking about something. What were we just talking about?
Before that,
Yeah.
Greta Van Fleet and Led Zeppelin and the 13-year-old girl.
And no,
Dan
it
Cook.
was something just after that too. Something that made me think about it. I don't know.
Something about Dusty, the comedian, about that thing.
God, I hate it when that happens. But anyway, I tried to
Must have been
remember his
something in your
name
head,
and I
'cause
forgot
I
what I
don't-
was going to say about it. He's hilarious. I wish I could remember his last
Is he a
name.
stand-up?
Yeah, stand up. Dusty. I'm gonna look it up because it's too good to not.
Yeah,
look
send
up.
it to me again. I think I lost it.
Oh, okay. It's in the text message for sure. I sent
Yeah,
it.
but I delete my texts all the time.
You delete your text.
Yep.
How do you do that? Why do you do that?
Why do I do it?
Yeah.
Just because it keeps my mind easy.
Yeah, all right. It's Dusty Slay. That's
I don't
it.
like
Dusty
seeing like
Slay.
5,000 text threads.
Yeah, Dusty Slay. There's something really funny that was just related to that dude. I hear him all the time. There was one where he's like, he's working at a restaurant. He was talking about being a waiter, and he goes, somebody came in and it was like, "How long is it gonna be? Because I'm in a hurry." And he goes, "You can leave right now." And he goes, "Don't let me slow you down." That's so funny. He goes, "I'm quitting anyways," or something like that. So
That's
he tied it back
amazing.
into the quitting thing.
That's amazing. Hey, can I
So-
tell you a pet peeve?
yeah,
When restaurants get pissed when you show up right before closing.
yeah,
That's a pet peeve because you know why? If you're open till 10, be open till 10.
right.
So if you're
Are you
if
serving
you're,
till 10 or are you not serving till 10?
Yeah, exactly. So if I show up at
Or what if you come-
9:59,
yeah, what
is
if
it
you
10?
No.
Okay, then we're good.
You gotta serve them
And
food,
I get it
and then you
because
also have
here's the
to-
deal. It's because the employees are trying to break down and leave early.
Sure.
I don't like that.
Or trying to leave by 10.
Well, they're never going to leave by
They're
10.
gonna leave by
They're trying to leave by
10:30 maybe.
11. But
Right,
here's the
right.
deal. If you close at 10, just go ahead and book your employees till midnight.
Right, right.
So they know, like, okay, well, I'm not leaving till midnight anyway,
That's a
so
good
I'm not
point.
pissed. Like,
That's a good point.
But like, yeah, all it is it's not like laziness, but it's like they really want to get out of there,
Yeah.
and you're holding them up, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like, well, dude, you're open. Like that's
Right.
not my fault. Like, you work here, and these are the hours.
You
Like,
know what, though? It's still, to me, like, it doesn't matter because those people feel that way or whatever. You're not going to change their mind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh,
Like,
you're
unless
definitely right.
Unless you're ready to give them the
But
whole
it's like,
speech.
at like 9 o'clock, they start breaking down the grill, and then you go in there at 9:40 and order a burger, and you're the dick. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, dude,
Yeah.
you're still open.
Yeah, I've been
Be
to
open.
places when they just opened and didn't get any service and had to leave because it was like they were just not even serving. Basically, they were just acting like, I don't know, acting like they didn't have to do their job that day, and I just had to leave. I was like waiting around for 15 minutes. It was a Bojangles specifically.
Yeah.
Waiting around for like 15 minutes, and there's a giant line. was not moving at all, and it's like, okay, I guess they're just not working today.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's
You're like,
weird.
Yeah, it was really weird.
And people like to be like super sympathetic to service industry people, and I get it. And the first thing somebody's going to say to me when I start bitching about it is, you need to work in service. Dude,
Right.
I have worked in service.
Have you? I've never
I worked
done
at
it.
Chick-fil-A all through high school, all 4 years.
That's probably one of the better ones to work for.
Definitely
just
is.
saying.
Definitely is.
But I know I would have a hard time serving food, and I tend to keep that mindset. It's like I wouldn't want to be doing that all day.
Yeah.
I get it. It sucks. At the same time, they are there to do their job. They're getting paid to do it. So,
so
do your job.
Yeah.
I get it. You don't have to be enthusiastic. You don't have to put on the my pleasure for me or anything like that. You
Yeah.
don't have to, oh, it's my pleasure, sir. You don't have to do that to me.
They
I
have
don't
to
care.
say that at Chick-fil-A.
I know, but to me, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just saying, just make my food. Get me through
Having
this.
gone through that training though, you have to get used to saying it, and then after you say it for a week, you say it all the time.
I know. I was wondering about
Your
that.
mom will be like, "Thanks, my pleasure."
My
You
pleasure, Mom.
it just comes out of
Hey,
your
Mom,
mouth.
my
Like you
pleasure.
just don't even know you're doing it. I remember that happening distinctly.
That'd be great. I feel like I don't
And
know.
you don't
I'm trying to
even
think of
realize it.
situations where my pleasure would be inappropriate. I feel
Inappropriate?
Like, no. Yeah, it would be inappropriate. So like you-
sexual.
Yeah. Well, that's where my mind immediately goes to. But
Yeah, I
like,
agree,
what if
but
you
I'm
held
trying
the
to think
door?
of how
What
that
if you
would
held the
work.
door for somebody? Like, my pleasure. It's like
Definitely in the
or-
way you say it though.
Oh, yeah,
My pleasure. My pleasure.
my pleasure.
Oh, it's my
I
pleasure.
live to serve you.
That's the response. I live to serve.
That's over the top.
We
right?
require our employees to say, "I
Chick-fil-A-
live to serve."
Chick-fil-A couldn't switch to I live to serve. That would be too much.
It's so
like-
funny. Places like Chick-fil-A
Thank
and
you. I
QT
live to
and the
serve.
places that like perform at a high level in their field,
Right.
They do things really differently in the way they think about training and the way they take psychology seriously.
Yeah.
Like if you go into QT, you'll notice, and I'm just now realizing a lot of our fans will not even have QT because they're only in Oklahoma and Charlotte at this point. But anyway, it's like a really nice convenience gas station place. Like way nicer than you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like it's not like any other
It
gas
is good.
station.
I like food trips. They
but
got all
anyway.
food. They got big pump like stations.
Yeah,
With tons of.
They always have the cheapest gas.
Yep.
They have like tons
Yeah,
of food
QT 's
options, and
great.
it's always super clean. They're open 24 hours, which is
Yep.
super nice.
Yep. It's almost
So
like
many
a truck
places
stop,
are
like
not.
a clean truck stop.
It's
that you get
yeah,
food
it's
at.
like it. Yeah, it's not like any gas station I've ever been to. And now I'm at the point now where I only go to QTs. I go way out of my way to go to a QT if I have to, because I just mostly because everyone I live with works there, so
It just happens to be a
help
coincidence.
support them. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the way they think about psychology, like
Yeah.
when they say like things that you and I might be like, that's stupid, that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It does.
It does. Well, and it's worth it
Because
to do it anyways.
they have done studies
Because
on
they're
that shit. But
dealing
like, for
with
example,
everybody.
when you leave QT, they don't say bye. They say see you later, see you next time, see you
Right.
tomorrow. They say
Right.
something that implies you're coming back.
Coming back, right.
And it works.
Chick-fil-A
Like, the
does
shit
that
is real.
too, and McDonald's actually does that. They have that in their.
But Chick-fil-A, the My Pleasure thing, there's like a whole thing in it in the book that talks about why they say My Pleasure, and it's like a whole thing. It's not
Really,
just something
not
they
just
decided.
one
It's
thing
like
they did right.
they say it's it's my pleasure to serve. I'm not being forced to do this. Like I'm happy to help you and serve you however you need because we're
We
good.
live to serve.
We're good at our jobs,
We live to serve.
So, but like when you get in a certain mindset at places like that, like you're not like from the outside, it might seem like you're indoctrinated or slaved or something. You're not. You're totally happy to be there and help out. It's like a positive thing. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm very happy to like provide you the best customer experience I can.
Yeah, it is kind of. There's a pride in it, man. And if you can get people to feel
Yeah.
pride in where they work, then that
Yep.
takes over. Like it's like, okay,
Yep.
let's make this the best restaurant, in town. Like this is where everybody goes. There's something cool about that, and then it's not that bad. It's not
Mm-hmm.
working at the place that nobody comes to, and you get one customer, and then it takes 20 minutes to get food for one customer. Because there's that restaurant. It's out there. Like the
mostly
Hardee's.
that restaurant.
The Hardee's that was in Mooresville had to close
Oh,
down because
dude.
it was that way.
There's a Jack in the Box right there,
Yeah,
and when you go late at night, you pull up to the window.
it's not there anymore. I don't think actually. I think
The
it's
Jack in the
gone.
Box still there.
Is it still there?
Think so, unless they just moved it. But yeah, it's been there
Okay,
since
okay.
I've last looked. I
Try
drive
to
through here all
close
the
down,
time.
but I might be thinking of another one.
But apparently there's a sensor on the drive-through that when you pass it, a timer starts, and so
Okay,
the management
right.
knows how long.
Right.
If you pull up to the thing, they'll literally tell you, "Hey, back up," and then pull forward again.
Just start it
They'll
over.
literally tell you to do that, and you're like, "What?"
Just
They're like,
start it
"Yeah, just
over.
back up a bit to the red flag, and then pull up again." You're just like, well, "Why?" Like, no, I'm
Oh,
not
I know
doing
why.
that. Like-
Because we need an extra 20 minutes.
yeah,
to put
it's
your
just
order
like
together.
and then you sit there for literally like 18
it
minutes.
sucks so bad.
It's just like, dude, the level of like incompetence at some of these places is
they'll go out of their way
astounding.
to help.
That
to,
McDonald's right there is
circumvent
one of the worst.
it. McDonald's.
Yeah, for being fast food, I've sat in that line more than 30 minutes, like, several times.
Slow McDonald's get me mad. So do Taco Bell's. Taco Bell's are notoriously slow.
Dude, you'll pull up to the window. We're way off topic, but doesn't matter. You'll pull up to the window and like sit there for a solid like 5 or 6 minutes before anyone says anything to you. Like, hey, can I take your order? Like,
That's terrible.
You're just
It's
sitting
like,
there
what are you doing? What
you're
have you
sitting
been
there
doing
like,
back there?
At some point, you're just like,
Are you waiting
hello?
for people
Like,
to come here, or are you waiting? Or are you just hanging out in the back? Like, what's happening? Like, do you expect people to show up?
ridiculous. Yeah.
Maybe they're not expecting
Ridiculous.
anybody on. Don't.
Yeah.
Why? Why even bother? Nobody's gonna show up.
They were so. This is a really funny story.
Oh
It was-
wow, there's somebody out there.
It was Christmas Eve or something, and they had on their window, they're open 24 hours a day on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the different holidays, when
Yeah.
New Year's,
Yeah.
all the times, like at the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
Clearly said they're open 24 hours a day. Jordan and I went there for like something after family dinner or something, like a milkshake or whatever, and they're just closed. It was like 8. It was like before normal closing
And it
time.
wasn't a
we just
holiday.
went there. All the lights were off. We were just like, what?
Maybe nobody decided to show up that day.
I think the night shift was just like, we're done. And they just packed up and left.
Damn.
I've never seen that happen. Where a
Damn.
restaurant's supposed to be open and they're just
Yeah, especially
totally
like a
closed.
McDonald's, like a franchise
Yeah, oh yeah,
McDonald's,
exactly. Like if I imagine if corporate or someone found out about that,
Oh,
there
they
would
would
be
be
some
pissed.
fucking people
Somebody
very
would be-
unhappy.
Yep.
How much money did they just lose? You know?
Yep. I mean,
And
definitely.
it's like you know what the
I don't know
employees
how many hamburgers were you gonna buy? That's how we can calculate how
enough
much
to
money
keep them
they
in
want.
business. But that's something that the employees on the lower level don't really think about. Like, yes, when people come through and spend money, it's like mostly going to like the corporate people. But who do you think pays you?
Right,
Like,
right.
If you
I-
don't
I-
do this place is gone and you're out of a job.
Yeah, I
Like,
think people don't understand that a lot. Like, there's definitely that where people don't put it all together and are aware that like this job depends on you doing it.
Yeah.
Like that is what was making money. If you decide that you're not
Yeah.
going to show up today, it's not like it's not just a.
you might
something
not
that's-
have it tomorrow,
Right,
And that's just
exactly.
because of
there was
business.
no
That's
work.
not
Oh yeah,
because of-
our
yeah.
employees didn't show up, so
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah.
what are you going to do?
Kind of like, well, we can't pay anybody, so sorry,
yeah, yeah.
we didn't do any
Oh,
business today.
Oh, sorry, your employees couldn't show up. We'll just pay you anyways.
Yeah,
Here, take this.
Yeah, and, then,
That's not
what's
how that
messed up
works.
is they can do that because they're so big. But,
Certain people, right.
like mom and pop shops can't. You know, you see
Well,
it
the
more
smaller
there,
the
but-
shop, the smaller the organization, the more real that is that you have to work for while you're spending time there.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
not there to-
McDonald's is notoriously
And anybody
bad.
else who shows up and doesn't work and it's just like basically like coasting and trying to stay under the radar so they whatever, they're just sucking money away from the company. If they're not making the company money, then they are sucking money out of the company.
Yep.
That's ultimately what this has to come down to, and you have to look at like your job that way. We're way off topic, but
Yeah, but let's bring it back home by saying don't use pledge music, and be really careful.
definitely not
about-
now that they're bankrupt.
I would be careful about using any crowdfunding source. Like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, is that what's called?
And we're putting
of
all your
those.
eggs in one basket. Like, just
Because
have an option.
especially with money though,
Email
that's the problem.
subscriptions- Email subscriptions is the way
It's
to go.
it's a little easier to swallow with Facebook and Instagram and stuff, but like when it comes to money, like I wouldn't do it that way. If you wanted to do some sort of crowdfunding thing, I would do it through your own website somehow. Figure that out.
a way.
I know it's going to be harder because you don't have the.
I'll say this about
Like
cool crowdfunding idea
infrastructure?
that we don't hear about a lot. One of the bands around here, a local band called Prowess, actually did a thing where they were going to give away, or the guitar player was going to sell his guitar, one of his like famous guitars that he's known for playing in that band. You know, they've been around for a while, and they raffled it off over several shows. So every show they brought the guitar, put it on the wall or whatever in the merch booth, and sold
that's
raffle
cool.
tickets to it, and then. Who knows how many raffle tickets they sold, but definitely enough to pay for that guitar.
Think
And then
so?
they send that guitar out. Yeah,
How much they sell them for? Like $1?
so I think they were real cheap. Yeah, so they just kept selling. Everybody
Oh,
bought
so you
a few.
could go buy 10 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody bought a bunch.
That's interesting. I don't know that I call that crowdfunding though.
It's kind of
That's
interesting.
fundraising or merch selling,
It's
really.
fundraising, right? It's
Crowdfunding is when a crowd pulls together and
funds
gives you
your album in
for
promise
a specific project
right, in
usually.
promise for that. Right.
I think
this is
that's-
a raffle. This is a raffle.
Yeah, that is a cool merch
But it's a
idea
cool
though. That's
way
a
to make
really
money.
cool merch idea.
Yeah. So if you have a
Because
guitar,
you go to the merch table and you see
maybe
a
you
guitar.
sign the guitar.
That's the first thing you're looking
maybe
at.
you sign
you
the
know?
guitar. The whole band signs the guitar or something, or maybe it's not that. Maybe you're just like, this is a sweet guitar. Check this out.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm thinking of
raffle
all
it
my
off.
guitars. I can't think of any I'd want to get rid of.
Yeah, me neither. I'm that way too. I can't even sell guitars. I hate it.
Yeah, I've definitely made some sales that I regret. I've definitely gotten rid of some that I don't give a shit about. But
Yeah.
the one that really still haunts me is I had a really nice BC Rich black Mockingbird with white trim
That'd have been cool. I still have.
not the 2-knob one, the 4-knob one.
Ah,
it was
nice.
like kind of new at the time.
Have
They're
the
not
switches?
super expensive.
Have
They're like
switches?
$600 or $700. It's
Yeah.
basically a Les Paul. It's
know what you're
exact
talking
same
about.
setup as a
I know
Les
what you're talking
Paul.
about. Yeah.
4
It's-
knobs, one
it's the
three-way
ST,
switch.
I think.
And it's super heavy block of wood, and it was a really cool guitar. It was heavy sounding. It's great in like drop D and stuff. And I
Yeah.
really wish I had that guitar back.
Yeah.
Every probably week and a half to 2 weeks, I'll go on Reverb and just look at Mockingbirds. I just did it the other day.
You want one still?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want to get that guitar back.
What
Not
do you
that
want?
one, but
you want.
I was
a real
looking at the
one.
green acrylic ones. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
pretty crazy looking, dude.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd dig those. I want one that's the neck through.
All the Mockingbirds are neck throughs.
Well, the acrylic one's not going to
The acrylic one is not, but all the like regular Mockingbirds are neck throughs. That's like the design of the guitar.
I want a neck through, and I want flame maple or something, or some kind of quilted maple on the top with a
so
with
when
the
you
switches.
when you get into like the custom ones with the quilted maple, they jump in price by literally like $2,500.
I know. That's
So
what I
like
want.
the regular ones are like
I'm a man of high taste.
$600 or $700, and then those USA ones, those like flame maple ones or whatever, they're like $3,500. It's crazy.
Hey man, I got expensive taste. I don't even like anything unless it's expensive.
There you
turns
go.
Out.
I don't even drink a beer that's under $15.
Right. I would get zirconium diamonds, but there's not enough money. You know what I mean? I gotta have
Too cheap.
Too cheap. I gotta have money on my.
I need a diamond the size of my fist.
That's a good idea. Put it on your ear, gauge it out.
You're just tilting your head over, just like you're
That'd be awesome.
resting on your
I'll see
shoulder.
if I get my ears pierced. I'm gonna start fucking piercing myself and tatting myself.
Oh Jesus!
Screw
Save
it.
money.
Screw it.
It's a good way to save money.
It is
Let's
good.
wrap up here. We have had some fun talks today.
Yeah. Last one out in the sun. We gotta bring this operation
so
inside.
the shade has shifted and is now baked. The sun is just baking my back. When we started, we were sitting in the shade.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's how this thing goes.
I'm tired.
Let's end it here.
Long weekend.
Happy Sunday. Yeah,
Good
Memorial Day
podcast.
weekend. Happy
So-
Memorial Day,
yeah,
everybody.
Happy Memorial Day. This is coming out Memorial Day.
Yep.
I mean, thanks
In
for
honor
listening.
of all our troops and everything.
Yeah.
Fought
Thanks.
for our country.
Thanks for your service.
We're able to do this podcast because of people like you.
Beautiful day.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Let's end it here.
Thanks. Bye.
That was the longest thank you ever.